I have an Instagram account where I post epic car videos, and over time I've learned some things about making car videos, especially color grading, and I want to share with you what I've learned. Today we'll be using Adobe Premiere Pro, but really you can use any software that you have. The principles are the same. Inside of Premiere Pro, we can start with our color grade. Here I have a video of a Supra. The camera I'm using is a Canon 80D, and this is kind of a neutral profile. I downloaded a neutral profile called CineStyle. It's a super cool profile. It's a little bit more bland than the normal neutral profile on the camera. So I can't quite get the log look, but this is more of like a flat look, and it'll do the trick. To start off, let's open up our Lumetri scopes. To do that, let's go up to the window, down to Lumetri scopes, select it. The scopes that I like to use are vector scope and waveform RGB. This gives us the saturation right here and then the lighting. To achieve this, we're going to go over to the color wheels and match on the Lumetri color panel right here. If you don't have this panel, come up to window and then just go down and select it. Color wheels and match. And I'm just going to take this dial on shadows and lower them until our shadows are getting close to 0. And then after that is done, I raise the highlights up to the mark that it's supposed to be at. So about there should be good. And then I like to play with the midtones. There's not really like a set rule of thumb for midtones, so you can kind of just adjust it to how you want. I like to keep my videos dark, but I don't like having them too dark. So I'm just going to increase this like so. Bring the shadows back down a bit like that. Okay, that looks good. So this is kind of like the first pass of color correction that I like to do, and if the highlights aren't quite reaching the top, I go up to basic correction and then just kind of boost the whites a little bit, but not by much, otherwise it'll look kind of weird. After that, I go to creative and I apply a look to it. So this is kind of like the color correction. The color correcting is done, but now I like to add a grade, and I bounce around with the different looks that I apply, the creative looks. You can kind of just play around and see what you like. For a lot of my videos, I apply the SL Gold Rush LDR look. It kind of gives it this interesting tone to it, so I'm going to decrease it to about 50, which will give me this result. This is before and after applying the look, so it just kind of changes the colors and lighting that we have on the car. And after that, I go to curves, and I just apply like a simple S curve. So I create a point right here and a point right here, and I just play around with the points until I get something that I like. I really like having dark, contrasty videos while still maintaining highlights. So that looks pretty good. Let's go back to our color wheels and just increase the shadows a little bit, just so they're not so crushed at the bottom. And then same thing with the highlights. And play around with your midtones a bit until you get a look that you like. So this is like a super quick and easy way of color grading your video. Obviously you can get into color gradients. You can spend a little bit more time, but this is just a basic color grade on this video. And let's just look at the before and after. So this is before and after with the color grade.